Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, so gave me an excuse to drink. You often find excuses to do things you want to do, right? I actually only made a couple New Year's resolutions, and I'm still sticking to them, surprisingly. Are you? You should be. Never too late to restart. A lot of times I give up on them, but one of my resolutions, I won't tell you the other one, but one of them was to deadlift all of 2025, just stay on a program all of 2025. And they're kind of a modified version. I mean, normally you would do a mixed grip or a hook grip or use straps or something, because the weak link in the chain when it comes to deadlifting is your hands. My dad told me that when I first started like really deadlifting seriously. Oh, the first thing that's gonna go is your hands. And it's true, you know, the bar, the sleeves have ball bearings, and if you double overhand, it'll just roll right out of your hand at a heavy enough weight. But that's kind of where the good part of it lies, as far as like integrating some arm wrestling into it also. I mean, part of it's just like, I feel like I need to deadlift more. I've deadlifted a good amount in my life, but I feel like I need more of it. For one, it's probably like one of the best things you could do for just like your testosterone. And then two, you know, I'm wanting to maintain this for an entire year. Granted, it's a super long, hard workout. Like it takes me like 2.5 hours or so, but it's only once a week. So it's not like the squat program I've done a couple times where it's 6 days a week. This is only once a week, so I can do other things. Anyways, I'm mixing up some C4, so a pre-workout basically, a lot of B vitamins and caffeine, and then 10 grams of creatine. It says only 5 grams, but that kind of depends on how big you are. 5 grams, I think, goes off of like somebody that's like 160 pounds or something. So I do about 10 grams alongside of this stuff. Now, if you don't have a shaker or you're too lazy to blend it up, a spoon with like if you have a spoon with like little holes in it or whatever, that's a good way to blend whatever it is you're trying to blend. Although creatine doesn't mix very well, so I'll keep the spoon in there and I'll spoon it every time I'm about to drink it. Thought I'd take y'all through the whole workout today. I won't make y'all sit through the stretching and the warming up, because that's like a good 15-20 minutes and it's boring. One of the downsides about filming is I can't really play music, you know, you get copyrighted, it doesn't sound that great, but I'm gonna put some headphones in, unless I have something to say, then I'll just like pop them out or whatever. It's hard to get through this workout just in silence. You know, one thing about me as a YouTuber, and what I hate about a lot of YouTubers nowadays, you constantly hear OMG, OMG, JC. People use those phrases to add weight to their words. You know, it's part of the reason people curse. Although like, you'll hear people use the Lord's name in vain more often than you'll hear them curse. You won't ever hear them curse, but you'll hear them, OMG, OMG, I caught a tiny fish. JC, it got off. One thing about me is you will never hear those words come out of my mouth. Find anywhere in any of the videos that I've made, and I've made a lot of them, you know, you'll hear me curse, particularly if I'm around certain people. If I'm around some sailors, you know, I bring it, you know, it comes out of me. My brothers, people I grew up with, and I honestly don't mind cursing too much. I know some of y'all don't like hearing it, but for me personally, occasionally I'll let it slide and I'll continue to watch the video, but a lot of times I will click off that video. I will straight unsubscribe too if I hear it enough. All right, top set, 405. It doesn't seem that heavy, which it's not terribly heavy, but doing a double overhand grip with no hook grip and no straps, it really does slow the lift down, because I mean, you're trying to grip onto it, and if you just like pull too fast, it'll just rip right out of your hands. I dub this lift the Superman grip, or the Superman deadlift, because it's just gripping it freaking hard. There's no trap in the bar with a thumb and a hook grip. There's no trap in the bar with straps. There's no trap in the bar with a mixed grip. It'll just roll right into your fingers and roll right out of your hand if you're not careful, and if it's too heavy. When I first started deadlifting, actually, freaking 300 pounds would roll out of my hand. Well, see, I got Jesus on my shirt. That's the only time you'll hear me talk about God or Jesus, is if I'm talking about it in a serious way. Okay, I don't just throw it out there because I failed a lift or I caught a big fish or something. You're not gonna hear it. It's something that you should have some reverence. You gotta put some respect put some respect on it, okay? You gotta put some respect on Jesus and God's name. Don't just be throwing it out there all willy-nilly. All right, let me get some chalk. Chalk is a must if you're gonna be doing Superman deadlifts, I'll tell you that. You wanna be close enough to the bar to where if you bend your knees, your shins will touch the bar. A lot of new people, one of their big problems is they feel like they need to be farther away from the bar than they actually need to be to clear their knees. But a good deadlifter will be touching their shins whenever they reach down and grab the bar. All right, top set, 1 set of 2. All right, I used the belt for that. For the rest of them, for the drop sets, and obviously the circuit, I'm not gonna use a belt. All right, timer set for 1.5 minutes, rest between sets. I got 6 sets of 3 with 335. Speed deadlifts. Not because you're lifting fast, but because you're taking a short rest period between each set. No belt, just abs and back, and a deep breath. Yeah, normally powerlifters will take like 3 to 5 minutes between lifts. So only taking 1.5 minutes rest in between seems pretty quick. Like your heart rate hasn't come all the way down. You're still gonna be breathing a little bit. Oh, your ATP hasn't reset either. That's like the main thing. And if you don't know what ATP is, it's adenosine triphosphate. It's what's responsible for like power, burst of power, like sprinting or something, or a max set on, you know, something full body. You only have so much ATP. It lights up like a match. The flame bursts and then it dies down quickly. It regenerates pretty quickly though, but it takes 3 to 5 minutes. Again, 1.5 minutes between sets. They're considered speed deadlifts. Only one more set, thank goodness. All right, this circuit consists of stiff leg deadlifts, bent over rows. It says to do underhand lat pull downs, but I don't have a lat pull down machine here, so I do chin ups and arched back good mornings. You get 1.5 minutes rest between each movement and 2 to 3 minutes. I take 3 minutes between circuits, and it's 3 circuits of that, which is pretty brutal. And I'm doing it with 155 pounds. Doesn't seem like it's that much, but it's 32 reps per circuit, 3 circuits, so 96 reps. You know, it's pretty challenging. And after you did a top set of deadlifts and then drop set speed deadlifts, you're already pretty fatigued. Like I'm ready to be done right now for sure, but I gotta get through these circuits. You know, I sometimes wonder what my value is in life or on YouTube or whatever. And I think part of what I have to offer is hopefully some inspiration or some motivation, you know, to maybe want to do a workout of your own or arm wrestle, you know, the whole be someone Houston vibe. And I feel like I'm kind of a natural teacher in some ways also, because it'll take me a while to learn something, but usually whenever I do learn it, I understand it pretty well. I can explain it pretty well because of that. Maybe you haven't realized that that's some value that I am giving to you, the motivation to want to go out and do your own workout, work hard. So if you are feeling inspired, give me a like, comment something positive. You know, I appreciate that stuff. Subscribe if you're not already. Follow along, you know. I feel so cringy looking at myself sometimes. And it's just, it's more time and work than you would realize, making videos and editing them and stuff. Like this workout is just like dragging on, partially because of the videoing and stuff. But anyways, if you appreciate it, show your boy some love. Some honey, some glucose gets converted into glycogen, just energy. You know, if you're feeling, I mean, I already feel uplifted a little bit, you know, energized. If your tank is running on empty, if your battery's at 0, some sugar, even some candy or something. I've done that before though. I've gone that route and I feel like it kind of makes me fat. Honey is probably one of the better things you can do to get some quick energy and some sugar in you. So East vs. West 17 is coming up, and there's a few matches on there that I think are pretty cool. I don't have all the matches in front of me, but the ones that I can remember are the Giannis and Mendaglius. That's an interesting one. They seem to have a bit of a rivalry and a respect for each other, which I like to see. I think they'll probably really have to bring their A game and their best mindset, best physicality to that match to win. What else? The Matt Mask Angarbayev one is interesting, partially just because I like Angarbayev, and I want to see how Matt Mask deals with that. How Angarbayev does coming off of injury. Sometimes, man, when you come off of injury, you get like a new strength. You know, so a lot of times when you get injured because there's a weak link in the chain, and the body's way of kind of like recovering from that is to get stronger, particularly if you don't have surgery. I think in some ways, if you can avoid surgery and just let your body recover, its way of protecting itself from further injury is to make that weak link stronger than ever. So maybe even with surgery, but he could potentially be stronger than he's ever been. And then I always like seeing Devin. Him and Corey West should be interesting. You know, give Corey West a little bit of cup. Don't be tapping on his wrist the whole damn time, you know? Like, that's one thing about this fight sport that I just don't really like, you know? Like, being able to cup somebody's pronation in, that is a strength. And whenever you are tapping on somebody's wrist, you are taking their wrist flexion, their strength away and giving it to the opponent's pronation. That's a dumb rule in my opinion. I don't want to get too much into it, but allow Corey West a little bit of cup, you know? Or at least don't bend him back and like start him already top rolled, you know. This guy is unhookable, that guy's unhookable, maybe because the rules are stupid. I bet if people could just freaking dig that wrist flexion, that strength is, and dominate somebody's pronation, there'd be a lot more hooking going on and a lot less top rolling going on. You know, you put people on the brink of being top rolled, you know, they can't get their cup in, and just realize you are taking a strength away and giving it to another strength. When you're taking wrist flexion away and tapping on their wrist, you are giving pronation to the other opponent. For a hooker, that's, you know, just doesn't make sense in some ways that is even allowed, or that's a freaking rule. If you can't stay pronated at the beginning, you know, if somebody turns you that way, you're just not strong enough, you know, and like you deserve to start palm up because your pronation isn't that strong, you know. Their cupping dominated your pronation and y'all should start there. Anyways, last circuit anyway. Oh yeah, John Brzenk is pulling out. I always love to see that guy. He's somebody that really motivates and inspires me too. So every time he pulls, it almost brings a dang tear to my eye because I just like want the guy to win, you know. He seems like a good dude and he's just freaking 60 years old, still competing, you know, what a badass. So go John. Yoshinobi, you already made a fan out of me with your match against Todd, so keep it up and that'll be a good match too. I'm always so happy when that's over with. If you've watched this whole time without skipping through or anything like that, and you've made it this far, I really do appreciate you watching. It means a lot to me. I actually still have the back pressure workout for the day to do, but I'll eat some food and take a break before I do that. Luckily, it's just the easy day, so I'll knock it out pretty quickly. You know, if anybody is watching, any of my arm wrestling buddies, and they want to host a watch party for East vs. West 17, let me know. I think that'd be fun. If not, I will definitely order the pay-per-view, and usually I'll just like do a bunch of workouts and stuff while I'm watching it. That's pretty fun to me. I mean, it's such a long event. I'll just do like 4 or 5 different movements and just kill the arms. You know, it's motivating watching these guys arm wrestle, seeing how much more jacked they are than I am and will ever be. I still think I'd crush a lot of these dudes without some stupid ref taking away my wrist flexion. But anyways, I'm looking forward to it. Even though I won't be there, it'll still be a good time for me one way or the other. Thanks again for watching. I will see y'all in the next one.